What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. My name is Jaclyn Kula. This is episode number 99. I wasn't sure when this episode was, when I was even going to film this week, but I'm filming, it's Tuesday evening, December 2nd, 2025. I'm still shocked that it's December, actually. But I had to film because the Blue Jays just signed another pitcher. Yes, we had Dylan Cease last week. I talked about it with Jamie Campbell. If you guys have not listened to that episode, please go and listen or watch it. It was so amazing having Jamie on. I'm such a fan of him, as so many Blue Jays fans are. So it was so awesome getting to chat with him. So go check that out. But there was more news tonight, and I did not know if we were going to get any more Blue Jays signings this week or the next few weeks until the winter meetings maybe. But the Blue Jays just signed pitcher CODY PONCE. And if you're like me and many other people, I did not know who CODY PONCE was when this was announced. So I've been doing a little bit of research on who this pitcher is. Why should I be excited? Should I be nervous? The Blue Jays are paying him $30 million for 3 years, so $10 million a year. Pretty reasonable, I think, compared to a lot of other signings that we see in baseball. So who is this guy? Will he be a starter? That I actually don't know, so I won't be able to answer that. But pretty much, CODY PONCE is a pitcher. He made his MLB debut back in 2020 with the Pirates, played from 2020 to 2021, was not good at all. His record actually in the MLB was 1-7. ERA just under 6. Not good at all. He didn't stay in the MLB for long. He then went to play in Japan, and he was in Japan for a couple of years. And then I believe it was his last year with Japan in 2024 where he really started getting things going and the tools were working, and just he kind of was able to put everything together. But this past year, 2025 season, he played for Korea. He played for the KBO, the Korean Baseball League, and he was fantastic. And I'm surprised I didn't know about this, and a lot of you guys, I'm sure, did not know about this, but he was crushing it for the KBO, crushing it. His record was 17-1 as a pitcher. 17-1. ERA 1.89, and he threw 252 strikeouts. He was named as an all-star. He was named as the KBO MVP. He was putting up unreal numbers, and he was a superstar there. So now, Blue Jays looking for another pitcher, either a starter, a reliever, a closer maybe, that I don't know. But the Jays are looking for another piece because we're making moves right now, right? We signed Dylan Cease. We're trying to get Bo Bichette back. If not Bo, maybe Kyle Tucker, right? Shane Bieber's already back. Like, we're trying to make these moves because we're trying to go on a run, right? What we saw the Blue Jays do this past year was so special, but we want to actually win it this year, so they're going to be making moves. So, listen, do we know a ton about CODY PONCE? No. Did we see great stuff from him in the MLB? No, we saw terrible stuff. But what he did in the KBO, right? We saw Eric Lauer do that, right? He was not great in the MLB. He went overseas and he was fantastic. Comes back here and we see great stuff from him. So maybe that's what we're going to see from CODY PONCE, and maybe even better, right? Those numbers, they don't lie, right? They are right there. You can read them. His KBO stats. So I'm excited. I'm intrigued. Right? The Jays clearly see something special there. They're not spending a crazy ton of money either compared to other pitchers in the MLB, right? This seems like a really great deal in my opinion. I think this is a really, really great choice by this Blue Jays. They're seeing something. Pete Walker probably saw something too, right? They're spending their money in a smart way, making room for the big bats, but also showing that we have money to spend, right? The baseball, there's no salary cap, right? And that's been a whole controversy possibly in sports, whether they should have a salary cap or not, and they don't. So the Jays can spend what they want to spend without any rules with that. So I think this is a reasonable price. It's not a lot of money compared to most guys, as I've said already a million times. I'm happy about this. I'm happy to have more arms on this team, right? Something that we struggled with, right? The bullpen is something that struggled during the regular season, not so much in the postseason, but in the regular season, that was my biggest concern, was this bullpen. So add another arm there, like make some room for some guys. This guy clearly has earned a chance to be a pitcher in the MLB, right? Putting up those numbers in the KBO, you should be offered something nice in the MLB. So I think this is a great move, and I'm really excited to see more on CODY PONCE and really get to know more of him. I'm going to do way more research on him as well following this podcast. But I just want to get out this real and quick reaction, and just, you know, if you don't have time to go read on him, just this is something quick. And, you know, I just wanted to get that out there, that I think it's exciting. I think it's a great move, and I'm hoping for the best with him. So yeah, with the Blue Jays, as I said, Dylan Cease signed already. Talks about that with Jamie Campbell. I'm so excited about that. I know Dylan Cease didn't have his best year, but he is still a top pitcher, and he can bring that stuff back. He's still a young guy. I'm excited. I know they spent a lot of money, but as I said before, there's no salary cap. The Blue Jays have a lot of money to spend. They were the 5th highest in payroll last year. I'm not shocked. I won't be shocked if it's the same thing again. Okay, moving on from baseball, I want to talk about the NFL. I know I haven't really a lot, and I know most of my subscribers, you guys prefer the Blue Jays and the Raptors, which is great because I love talking about the Blue Jays and the Raptors. I'm going to talk about the Raptors too. But the NFL has been really fun this year, and if I'm not going to talk about fantasy because I am doing terrible in fantasy. I think I'm in like 9th or 10th place out of 12. I should be winning because I usually dominate every season. Yeah, I'm in 9th place. Okay. I'm usually dominating every season. So far this is not good and will likely not make the playoffs. But anyways, other than fantasy, football, and also my New York Giants. You guys watched the game last night. If you watched it, I don't need to get into it. But pretty much the NFL, there's a whole narrative going on, whether if there's even a great team in the NFL, because the top teams in the NFL right now are the Patriots and the Broncos, right? Patriots, Broncos, who else is there? Rams. I got to look at the proper standings right now, but there's a whole question whether are they good because, they haven't had a tough schedule. They only played easy teams, you know, they didn't beat the Chiefs or the Eagles or whatever. Like, there's so much stuff that I'm hearing about what makes a team good or not. And I look at the Patriots and the Broncos, and I'm not, like, amazed by anything I'm watching. I haven't watched enough Bo Nix, I will admit. I've seen enough of Drake May to understand that, yeah, he's crushing it. But I'm still not amazed by what I'm seeing with the New England Patriots in general. Same thing with the Broncos. I'm not amazed. Also, the Bears are 9-3. That's shocking to me. I saw them in Minnesota. When I went to that game in Minnesota, Bears-Vikings, that ended in a Bears field goal, the Bears were not good. So, you know, you look at these teams that have this amazing record and are leading the NFL, and it's, you know, you look at the teams they play, they're like, oh, well, they're not good. They're not good. Are there even any good teams in the NFL? Because the Chiefs are supposed to be a really good team in the NFL, and right now they are 6-6. So I'm not sure if I would really consider them a great team anymore. And then you look at the Eagles, and the Eagles, I don't know what is going on with them. Listen, they're still 8-4. They're not a bad team, but they blow these crazy leads, right? They lost, you know, they were up 21-0 against the Cowboys at halftime last week, and then you end up losing that game. So, you know, I look at these games and I'm like, I don't think it's about that these teams aren't beating anyone good. Is that I don't think there's anyone good in the NFL. Like, I think every team is really sloppy this year, which I kind of love. Is that there's no super team, because I don't think the Patriots and the Broncos are these super teams. They're winning these close games, right? Look at the Broncos of how they match up, like that Chiefs game, right? 2 or 3 weeks ago. Right? These are tight games. The Broncos almost lost to the Giants, 2 months ago or so. Right? The Giants were crushing them, and the Broncos make this comeback at the end of the game, and it was devastating for the Giants fans, but nothing special in the Bears. Really? The Bears? Like, what I'm watching with Caleb Williams is supposed to be spectacular. So, you know, I'm kind of rambling right now, but what I see in the NFL is that I think you have to respect them for being 1-2 and, you know, saying, oh, they have an easy schedule. I don't think any other teams are that good. That's my thing, is that I don't think any teams are actually good. I'm not saying the Patriots and Broncos are bad, but I'm not saying there's any team that is so powerful, right? The Rams lost to the freaking Panthers, but the Panthers are good. Right? Then you say, well, you know, the Chiefs are still a great team. No, they're not. They're 6-6. So it's like these powerhouse teams that we're so used to talking about aren't those teams anymore. Right? The Chiefs are not what they were. The Steelers, bad. The Ravens, bad. The Cowboys are actually really good, which I kind of hate. But the Bills are really sloppy as well. I know they beat the Steelers, but not playing well at all. Josh Allen is not having this post MVP season that we all thought he'd be having. So, you know, I look at these games and all these teams, and this is anyone's year. That's the way that I see it. I think that's like what I really need to put out there, is that this truly is anyone's year of winning the Super Bowl. My prediction right now is that the Rams are going to. I think the Rams are just going to figure it out. I know they lost the Panthers, but the Rams are a really special team. They have a great coach, great offense, right? Things kind of click. Matthew Stafford, I know, was older than he was when they won the Super Bowl 3.5, almost 4 years ago. But they just have things clicking, and they know what they're doing with that system. The Bears, they're going to lose, I think, in their first round of the playoffs. I don't see anything special about this Bears team. It's really not exciting to me at all, anything that they're doing. And then the Patriots Broncos, listen, yeah, they could also make a run, and that could be the AFC Championship game, which we've become used to, at least in the 10 years ago when Peyton Manning was playing for the Denver Broncos and Tom Brady was with the Patriots. I remember watching the AFC Championship game, Patriots Broncos. We could very well see that once again with totally different teams, coaches, players, everything about, right? The Patriots were in a rebuild, and now all of a sudden Drake May is Tom Brady. The Broncos as well. Bo Nix wasn't supposed to be anything, and look at him, right? He won that job in Denver, and he's been putting on a show since. So those teams are exciting. My pick, yeah, as I said, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think the Eagles are not what they were. The Cowboys are really good, but no matter what, they're gonna be in the playoffs, and they're gonna suck. The Bills, I want them to do well. I want them to be good, right? I'm cheering for them. My Giants are out of it. I'm cheering for the Bills, of course. And I'm not seeing that. Seahawks, I think, are frauds. Jaguars as well. I talked about that with Blake Murphy in my episode. What was that? Before the Jamie Campbell episode, yes, I had Blake Murphy on. We talked about the Jaguars, his team. Also, frauds. Chargers have really gone downhill. Herbert's injured. There's no offensive line. The Colts are a really interesting story there. Daniel Jones is still Daniel Jones no matter what happens, where they are in the playoffs. And that's like kind of it. The Lions are not great. And yeah, I already said about the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Chiefs. Like, this year, truly, so many teams are in the hunt right now, and that's what's making football super fun, is that every single team practically is in the hunt, other than a couple, including my Giants. But every team is in the hunt right now. There is a chance that any of these teams can make a run and go Super Bowl. Like the Jaguars could. I know I'm saying they're frauds, but who knows, right? Who knows? Like, if you told me the Broncos and the Patriots would be number one in the NFL, I'd tell you you're crazy. The Bears would be third. You're crazy. But that's what we're seeing right now. So, you know what? It's fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy football, because it's exciting. Other football stuff, Lane Kiffin of formerly Ole Miss, now LSU head coach, departs from Ole Miss in the middle of the season. I have been trying to figure out this story all day, all the past 2 days, being like, what happened? How is this allowed? Listening to different podcasts, reading different articles on it, and pretty much Lane Kiffin. Like, I don't talk too much about college. I like college, but I don't have a team necessarily in college. But I do love watching college. It's fun, it's sloppy, it's exciting. College football playoffs are great. We all know that. Bowl season, we all love. But pretty much, he's been with Ole Miss for a couple years. He really changed this organization around, finally made them a bit of more of a competitive organization. Again, this college really changed the way that people see Ole Miss. And he leaves Ole Miss in the middle of the season to go to LSU. He's not saying it's for the money, blah, blah. Like, I think he's in it because they want to pay him a lot of money. LSU is the LSU market. Obviously, we know it's a market. They have amazing players that go into the NFL. Like, look at all the best wide receivers in the NFL. They were at LSU. So this whole story is super weird. And how, because he signs with LSU, and because there's a transfer portal that, to put it quickly, the college football schedule sucks, and pretty much students have to declare if they're transferring or not now, even during a season. So guys, let's say you're at one team and you want to transfer, you need to do that now, and the team you're playing for will know that you're leaving them while you're still playing there. And so Lane Kiffin tells Ole Miss that, I'm leaving to LSU, but I want to finish out this season. And they're like, well, no. Because if he stays at Ole Miss, he recruits all the coaches, all the players who are there, all his staff, and then they go to LSU the next year. And Ole Miss is like, no, you have to leave now. So he leaves in the middle of the season. Now Ole Miss, they promoted, I think it was their offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, I'm not 100% sure. And Lane Kiffin isn't going to coach LSU right away, but he's going to start his recruiting process right away. Like, he got on the private jet, immediately headed to LSU, left his Ole Miss team that he built himself with the help of his staff, just there. Bye. That's it. See ya. Sorry. I want to go to LSU. I don't want to play here. I don't want to coach here. I'm leaving. This is a wild story. And I'm learning a lot more about this guy, because as I said, I'm not so into college football the way that I am with the NFL. So I'm really learning more about him, and he just seems like, yeah, he's a character. People are not happy. If you watched First Take or Get Up, these American stations, or even so many shows on Sportsnet are talking about it, how this is kind of a move that a guy like Lane Kiffin will pull. He'll pull a whole FU on Ole Miss and say, see ya, I built all this, but I'm going to LSU. Me and my family want to do that. Go on the private jet. Bye. So yeah, wild story. I think LSU, Lane Kiffin, all that stuff is crazy. He's a big personality. I think he likes that as well. He likes the attention. He likes the media attention. LSU, as I said, it's a big deal. It's like the number one school. Every guy wants to play there, right? Every person wants to watch those games. I want to go to a game there. Are you kidding me? It looks electric. So many players go to the NFL afterwards. So he wants to be a part of a team like that. Doesn't want to be with Ole Miss anymore. It's just wild how college football allows this kind of stuff of signing with a team. But the reason why you're allowed to sign with the team is because you want to be a part of recruiting players there, because that starts now, recruiting high school players. So it's just like, it's crazy to me that this happens, right? This would never happen in the NFL. Imagine right now we're watching the NFL and who's like a random guy like Bryce Young. Bryce Young is kind of crushing at the Panthers. And let's say, he wants to sign with the Raiders, right? Things with Geno Smith aren't going well. They want to change. They recruited Bryce Young. They had conversations. Sure. Imagine right now Bryce Young signs with the Raiders, knowing he's going to be playing there in the next year, yet asks, hey, can I finish out this season? And if they say no, then the Panthers just have to bench him, practically. Or they send him to Vegas to sit and watch. That's kind of the equivalent of what we're seeing here, of you're just leaving your team stranded, right? He can make a college football run. He can win a championship for Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. But instead, he's like, no, I'm going to go to LSU. See ya. It's crazy to me. It's crazy that college football allows this. It's just like, oh my God, it's insane. It's insane. So definitely we'll hear more about this, I'm sure. Just more stories, and who knows, guys he's already recruited. Guys already talked about coming to join him in LSU next season, right? We can be hearing a lot about the Ole Miss transfer portal opening up soon, and guys being like, I want to go play for him. Or a lot of those guys lost respect for him, because if that was my coach and he just leaves us while we're having one of the best seasons of all time, I would say F you. I would say, what? Are you crazy? Everything we've built here? So craziness to me. And then, yeah, Raptors are really fun. A little bit of basketball talk. I'm wearing my Anthony Edwards t-shirt. I got this in Minnesota. I'm an Anthony Edwards fan. Big fan. But I'm a Raptors fan more. So Raptors have been fun. On a 2-game losing streak. I'm filming this. Actually, the Portland Trail Blazers game has already started. I'm going to go watch that after this. But for this game, lost to the Hornets in overtime, and then lost to the Knicks kind of badly. The Knicks game, I don't fault them at all, because they were so beat. They were exhausted. There was no Hurdle or RJ Barrett in the game. They were so gassed. Like, going from an overtime beatdown like that, like being up in that game, then just not be able to close it out, losing overtime, and then having to go to New York from Charlotte is so crushing, and it's like exhausting. So I have no issue with that. I have issue with the Charlotte game, how Brandon Ingram was silent the end of the game and had terrible defense. There's issues with that, but it's one game. They had that 9-game winning streak. I think they're going to be just fine. Got to get it going again. They're back at home playing against Portland. I'm confident in this. This episode will be out during the game anyways. So I'm feeling good about the Raptors. It's fun. It's really fun. This team is really clicking well. Fans are loving it. It's exciting. It's nice, especially since the Blue Jays season's over in a crushing way. It's very nice to have this. And then, yeah, I think that's going to do it. My episode number 100 will be out on Friday. I have an interview. I guess I'll tell you now, if you're watching this, you get to deserve to know who it was. Joe Siddall, Blue Jays analyst, former MLB catcher, had him on the show, and that will be my 100th episode special. I guess I would say it's just under an hour. Amazing conversation. Loved having him on. What a great guy. What a great person. You can really tell on screen already, but just getting to have a conversation with him, it was even better. And then if you haven't not watched the Jamie Campbell interview, go check that out. We talked a lot about baseball and the Blue Jays, but also about him and his career and advice and whatnot. So both of those were great. And then I also had Blake Murphy on a little bit ago, talked a lot about Jays and Raptors and a little bit of football as well. But yeah, these were all filmed last week, by the way. The Blake Murphy, Jamie Campbell, Joe Siddall episodes, so had to space them out a little bit. But yeah, that's going to do it on today's episode. Thank you all for watching. Exciting stuff. Blue Jays adding another pitcher. Love to hear that. NFL is in a weird spot. Lane Kiffin is just saying goodbye to Ole Miss, and he already said goodbye. He's in LSU, and the Raptors are really good. All right, thank you all for watching, and I will see you Friday for the Joe Siddall 100th episode interview. Thanks all. Bye-bye.